Alright, buckle up pickup truck fire. Here's a long, cinematic, high-energy YouTube script for Drivenology, written as one continuous flow with no headings, exactly how you asked. It covers interior, exterior, performance, street presence, and pricing, with that street monster vibe throughout. Imagine standing on a quiet street, and suddenly the ground starts to shake. Not from a supercar, not from a modern muscle sedan, but from something far more intimidating. Something raw, something with history. Rolling slowly into view is a vintage GMC pickup, but don't let the age fool you, because this thing is not a restoration, not a showpiece, and definitely not a garage cleaner. This is a street monster, built to dominate asphalt and break necks wherever it goes. Welcome back to Drivenology, and today we're diving deep into a 2025 build that proves old school steel still rules the streets. From the very first glance, this vintage GMC pickup feels illegal, in the best possible way. The body lines are classic, boxy, unapologetically American, and brutally honest. No soft curves, no unnecessary drama, just straight metal, squared shoulders, and a stance that screams authority. The paint finish alone deserves respect. Whether it's deep jet black, murdered out matte gray, or a glossy midnight green, the way light hits those panels tells you this truck has been rebuilt with obsession-level detail. You don't see waves in the paint, you don't see imperfections, just a deep, mirror-like finish that feels more custom supercar than old farm truck. The front end is where intimidation truly begins. That classic GMC grille has been subtly modernized, often blacked out or brushed in dark chrome, keeping the vintage identity intact while adding serious menace. The headlights look simple at first, but then you realize they're upgraded LED units, tucked inside classic housings, giving you that perfect mix of retro and modern tech. When they light up at night, it's less classic truck, and more Predator locking onto its target. Drop your eyes lower and the stance hits you hard. This pickup sits low, aggressively low. The suspension setup hugs the road like it was born on a racetrack, not a dirt road. Wide tires stretch across massive custom wheels, usually 18s or 20s, filling the wheel arches perfectly. There's no awkward gap, no lifted truck nonsense here. This build is all about street dominance. The wheels themselves are often forged, finished in black or brushed metal, and paired with massive performance brakes that peek through the spokes like a warning sign. Walk around to the side and you really feel the attitude. The body is clean. Shaved door handles, smooth panels, and subtle aerodynamic touches make this truck look less like a vintage utility vehicle and more like a street-built weapon. The bed is often finished with real wood or custom metal paneling, depending on the build style, and it's not there to haul cargo anymore, it's there to flex craftsmanship. Even the exhaust tips are positioned with intent, usually tucked cleanly under the rear or exiting aggressively from the sides, hinting at what's waiting under the hood. And then there's the rear. Simple, muscular, confident. Classic tail lights upgraded with modern internals, a clean tailgate with GMC badging, and a wide, planted stance that makes this truck look unstoppable from behind. When it idles at a red light, people don't just look, they stare. Phones come out, conversations stop. This thing owns attention without asking for it. Now let's talk about what really turns this vintage GMC into a street monster, because under that classic hood is where the real madness lives. This isn't some restored inline 6 or mild V8 build. In 2025, these trucks are getting full modern performance treatment. We're talking about massive displacement version 8s, LS-based engines, supercharged setups, or even twin-turbo builds pushing insane power numbers. Depending on the configuration, power outputs can range anywhere from 600 horsepower to well over 1000 horsepower. Yes, in a vintage pickup, the engine bay itself looks like a piece of art. Clean wiring, custom brackets, polished or matte finished components, and performance intakes that look ready to inhale the entire street. Fire it up, and the sound is pure violence. A deep, thunderous idle that shakes windows, followed by a sharp, aggressive bark when you tap the throttle. This is not a refined sound, it's raw, mechanical, and unapologetic. The kind of exhaust note that sends chills down your spine and makes modern performance cars feel nervous. Power is sent through heavy-duty transmissions. Modern automatics are built manuals designed to handle extreme torque. Shifts are fast, brutal, and confident. No hesitation, no slipping. Just instant response. And when you launch this truck, physics feels optional. Rear tires fight for grip, the front end gets light, and suddenly you realize this thing accelerates like a supercar while looking like it just escaped from a 1970s warehouse. But speed alone doesn't make a street monster. Control matters. And that's where the suspension and chassis upgrades come in. Modern COI lovers, upgraded control arms, reinforced frames, and performance sway bars transform this old pickup into something shockingly capable. It corners flat, it stays planted, it feels connected to the road in a way vintage trucks never did from the factory. You can actually push this thing hard, and it responds like a modern performance machine, just with way more attitude. Braking performance is equally insane. Massive disc brakes, multi-piston calipers, and performance pads mean this truck doesn't just go fast, it stops hard. And that matters, because when you're running supercar level power in a vintage body, confidence is everything. Now open the door, and this is where the build truly surprises you. The interior is not old school anymore. This is where classic soul meets modern luxury. Custom leather seats hug you tight, often finished in black, brown, or two-tone combinations that respect the truck's heritage while adding serious comfort. The stitching is precise. The materials feel premium. This is not some stripped race interior, it's a place you actually want to spend time in. The dashboard keeps its classic layout but hides modern technology beneath the surface. Digital gauges disguised in retro housings, touchscreen infotainment systems seamlessly integrated into the center console, premium sound systems that can overpower the engine when needed. Though honestly, who would want that? Climate control, push-start ignition, modern lighting, and even advanced driver aids in some builds make this truck feel shockingly current. The steering wheel is thick, sporty, and perfectly weighted. Pedals feel solid underfoot. Every switch, every knob, every surface feels intentional. This interior tells you that someone didn't just build this truck to look cool, they built it to be driven hard, daily, if you're brave enough. And that's the wild part about this 2025 vintage GMC Street Monster, it's usable. It's brutal, yes, loud, absolutely, but it's also reliable, thanks to modern engineering, upgraded cooling systems, and carefully tuned electronics. You can take it to a car meet, destroy a drag strip, cruise the city at night, or even daily drive it if you're built different. Now let's talk numbers, because nothing this insane comes cheap. Pricing for a fully built vintage GMC Street Monster in 2025 can vary massively depending on the level of customization. Entry-level builds with modern engines and basic upgrades can start around $120,000 to $150,000. Step into high-performance builds with forced induction, full custom interiors, and show-quality finishes, and prices easily climb into the $200,000 to $300,000 range. Extreme builds with 4-digit horsepower numbers, carbon fiber components, and one-off craftsmanship can push well beyond $400,000. Is it expensive? Absolutely. Is it worth it? For the right person, without question. Because you're not just buying a truck, you're buying presence, history, performance, and individuality in a world full of identical modern vehicles. This vintage GMC pickup doesn't try to fit in. It doesn't care about trends. It doesn't need validation. It exists to remind everyone that raw American muscle, when rebuilt with modern technology, can still dominate streets filled with electric cars and digital dashboards. It's loud in a quiet world, mechanical in a digital era, and that's exactly why it hits so hard. So if you're the kind of person who wants more than just speed, if you want character, aggression, and soul, this 2025 vintage GMC Street Monster might just be the ultimate expression of automotive rebellion. This is Drivenology, where legends don't fade, they evolve. Pickup truck fire.